Well, sometimes things go sideways, and they went sideways for me and Dale. So, shortly after recording, a tree limb slammed on the power line. The power line caused all kinds of pops, cracks, and whistles and other clicks, and may have destroyed this episode. So, you're going to get a partial episode this episode because we're still going to release. It's not very long. Luckily, we got our sponsors in there, but the bulk of the episode, which is just us rambling anyway, didn't make it through. I'm hoping that the company we use to record this will get back in touch with me and they'll give me a solution. And once it does, I'll drop that episode. But in order to not miss one, we're still going to drop this episode today. Hence why I'm recording on my cell phone. I can't even record on the laptop that we use because it would screw things up. So, here's the episode. Sorry for the technical schmacknickles. Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. You know I be on a what? Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. It's all hard, ain't no fear here. You ain't giving this. What's up, and welcome to another exciting episode of Ride the Rebellion podcast. I'm Drew, and with me today, as always, is the king of the South Alabama Turn Down. And he's also pretty good, turns out. I've said this before. He's a pretty good, decent grip. And professional pizza maker, Dale Boyd of Dale Boyd Pizzas.
Oh, yeah. This is maybe our last bike episode.
Yeah, this is it. We're going for pizza talk.
It's going to be all pizzas.
Pizza and coffee. That's all it is.
Because I can't do the whole barbecue thing. It takes too long.
Right.
I'm fat and I need food.
So I'm just going to eat dough with meat and cheese on it.
Yeah, so I'm making pizzas now, folks.
Yep.
I'm tired of the South pizza. Figured I'm just going to bring
If you've been around Dale long enough or he's drunk enough, he's going to go on a rant eventually about how terrible the pizzas are in the South.
But I'm not wrong.
I don't know if he's wrong. I will tell you, I don't think our neck of the woods has very good pizza. No offense to anyone that makes pizza down here, but not very good. Ever since Picklefish went away, I just not a fan.
If you have a pizza recommendation that you think I need to try that's within like not that far of a drive.
Because he's hungry.
Yeah, because I'm fat and I'm hungry. Shout it out and I'll give it a try. And don't say the dumb Mobile ones because I've already tried them and they suck.
He doesn't like any Mobile ones. Today on the show, we're just going to talk about nothing. This is the Seinfeld episode. You guys have been waiting for it. High demand episode. You guys have sent us multiple emails saying like, hey, can you guys please just talk about nothing one more time? And that's what we're going to do.
It is kind of interesting. We do get comments like that. Yeah. Like we think that we're just filling space sometimes in between guests. But then people are like, well, no, we like the old school because this is how it started.
Yeah, this is back to the original. So anyway, a couple of things we'll talk about. We'll get into those here in a moment. We'll do a little recap. This will be a nice, clean, easy episode. Shout out to our sponsors, of course. We've got Summit Bike Academy's hat right here on top of this froey head. This way. There you go. There it is right there. Summit Bike Academy for all your summit needs. If you need to climb a mountain, don't go see them. But if you need to ride a bike up a mountain, definitely go see Summit Bike Academy.
Oh, but wait, Toby's into rock climbing too, so he could probably get you to the summit no matter what.
It's true.
He can.
Yeah, it's we've talked about. I think we've plugged it enough. If you guys have not taken a class, they also now have classes in Bentonville. If you are up that way or going to be that way or near there, I highly suggest, even if it's private coaching, the rider they have up there is local to that area. So, arguably, you might. If you would like to ride the best trails, you're going to probably pay for a guide anyway. But what if you paid for a guide that was also teaching you shit? Seems like a pretty good deal. I would check out Summit Bike Academy. You can go to shredwithsummit.com and check them out. Highly suggest it. And that side of it. In the meantime, if you're doing that, you could just run on over to Dale's Choice.
Build, tune, ride. Because if you're tired of running, you need something to ride. And that would be a great place to have them built. And while you're there, maybe you could check out the Stockyard, which is in the backyard of Build to Ride.
That's exactly right.
We'll talk about that in the future.
Absolutely. Also, shout out to Kevin Black, who I haven't seen in a while, of Man of War Tattoo.
He's got big things going on.
Does he?
Yeah. Very big Kevin Black things.
Very big black things. Got it. He's got the VBB. VBT.
Yeah, and actually.
Vacation Bible things.
Oh, I don't know about that. That might be a little bit much.
Little cringy.
But yeah, he does have Man of War Tattoo. Will be doing big things in the future.
Oh, fun. That sounds interesting.
And maybe we'll be dropping that info.
Yeah, maybe we will. So Man of War Tattoo, Kevin Black over that side of things. And of course, Run and Try, for all your running shoes and nutrition. I do think that's a little overlooked concept. That you've plugged it very well, and I haven't. But they actually do, even if it's not keto stuff, because I'm no longer keto. But the amount of nutrition I need now riding has changed, and I have found that like clean energy does make a huge difference. I've been doing like a lot more long rides, and there's long rides like typically like halfway through I need that little bump, unless I've ridden for food. But
Well, through the neighborhoods you're in, you could probably get a real bump.
yeah, no joke. I will ride through sketchy business. But anyway, so if you haven't been over there, at least to check out for nutrition, especially here locally. You can also order online through him. But again, shoe wise, fantastic, and the nutrition's another angle that's worth exploring.
Well, last but certainly not least, if you're in Fairhope, Alabama, checking with Kevin Black, getting a tattoo, you could probably get Pro Cycle tattooed on your arm if you'd like.
I'm sure they would love it.
And if you stop in, they'll give you a beer for the tattoo, I'm sure.
Yeah, again, we talk about like Build Tune Ride is a little ways away.
He's more enduro focused,
and he's more enduro focused. The thing about Pro Cycle is that's your good general quality bike shop. And again, they do have beer. That's the whole thing. It's the old school style shop. You go in and hang out. There's a lot of times I think you can just go to Pro Cycle and hang out, drink a beer, buy some little widget from them that you needed, and you're supporting an LBS. But it's also the other side of it is you're also in a space where like you're going to get fed information, and they're going to get your stoke up whether you want it to be or not. Like every time I've been in there, I'm excited to go ride. It doesn't matter. I just want to go ride a bike. It doesn't matter what even type of bike. I just want to ride a bike. So
absolutely, they bring the stoke.
They bring the stoke. So we are a little behind because we were super excited about having the last episode. If you guys have not heard it, watched it, listened to it, whatever it might be, we were so excited to have Scuba Steve and Shreddy Tobes on. And so because of that, Shreddy Tobes, I'm going with it now. That's it. It's stuck. Shreddy Tobes and Scuba Steve.
Neither of their real
That's
nicknames.
Those are such stoner names. It's just like they pull up in a van. There's like a ramp that comes out of the back of it, but it just tons of smoke. Anyway, we were so excited to have them on that we did skip a huge event that is very much part of the rebellion culture, and often imitated. What is the statement?
Never duplicated.
Never duplicated, often imitated. So many people try and make it their own, but it is not. It belongs to really Dale Boyd, but Dale shared it with the rebellion. So we wanted to talk a little bit about that. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's the world famous Bull Gap AIDS station occurred a couple of weeks ago. And if you're hearing this, just so if you don't know the story of it, there's an episode that we did a year ago from now. So if you go back in time and listen to that episode, you get the first entrance into that. You also get a weird TikTok moment that we didn't know what the hell was going on. And I think we were drinking at the same time.
And we were in Huntsville.
Alabama. So if you have a chance, go back and check that out. Now, meanwhile, Dale, talk to us about it. How was this year's AIDS?
So it was curable, first of all. But it was this year was different because last year was the first year we kind of knew what to expect. This year, it didn't rain, so there was no mud.
Right.
Jason prayed for no rain, I think. Yeah. Jason Shear, the event organizer, which is from Ordinary Epics. I think this is the first year it was kind of dry-ish. Right. And that was surprising because we prepared Hagen with Eric Hagen and I. We talked to previously, like, what should we bring? Like, do we need this? Do we need that? We need to bring a ton of towels because we had to clean chains off. Well, this year we didn't have to clean chains off as much. So we had more time to offer up some beverages and pickles to people. But we came more prepared with things that we lacked the year before, I think, things that we ran out. And we also had this year's Jason implemented a time frame of, hey, the aid station will end at this time.
Right. Because last year you guys kind of got hosed and you had to like
we just kind of hung out.
Yeah.
And so this year it was nice because we knew when we had to ramp up and we knew how we knew when the downhill was. So it was kind of nice. We could save our energy and there was expectations involved. But the racers this year were great, but it felt like everybody was doing so well that no one wanted to just hang out. Like last year, we had to tell people to keep moving. This year, and to the racers' credit, they did amazing. Everybody that I know PR'd. Everybody that it was riding with PR. Yeah, because the course wasn't as muddy, maybe, and the weather was about perfect. No one was cramping as bad. Things were just different. The weather was really good for it. The trails, Billy being with Cogs up there, Billy had the trails running so great. So we rode them Friday, and so we got to see the amazing trails that they are in Silla Ward. But
now, what was the crew that you had up there? Because I know that this time we had some guests come along with the bump crew. We can talk about that in a second. But who was our crew? Who was the Reb crew that was representing? Because you had a
So everybody that came was new. Like everybody,
that's great.
like well, Paul. So Paul came this year, and Paul brought one of the most awesome party ideas ever. He brought his Park Tool bike stand. We strapped it to a table, and we had a pickle beer bong funnel for people to so
ridiculous.
they could bong pickle juice in the
Yeah.
middle of the race. And I think that people got scared. They thought that they had to take the whole bong of pickle juice. But we had some lucky or some good guys like John Mackey from the Rebellion. He tried it, and he just you could turn it off and on. You could toggle it off and on, take as much as you want. But so I said maybe we put Gatorade in it next year. It's a little easier to chug Gatorade.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe we just put beer in it. F it.
Yeah.
But so Paul was there. Pat came up for his first time ever being up there. Who else? Sean and Phil. And Sean Alves and Phil Wilborn. I think you guys drank more alcohol than anybody that was there. Like I'm going back through the footage.
Veteran drinkers right there.
Yeah, I'm going back through the footage, and I was like, holy shit, they did a shot of Fireball every time somebody did a shot of Fireball.
Right.
I was like, all right, well, apparently they were just partying. So, but we all helped. I mean, there's tons of videos of people just saying, hey, what do you need? What do you need? Hey, I'll help. And I think that hopefully the riders felt like we weren't in the way. We were offering something. So I hope I don't forget anybody that came up with us. It was a few weeks ago. So, and
Yeah.
I know we had some friends of ours that were racing too. So, like Phil, who else? John and Don both raced.
Yep.
Again, veterans of the race.
Yep.
They've done it. I think this is their 4th year.
Dirty Uncle Chase got into the mix this time.
Yeah, I was going to add that when I talked about the bump stuff. So that was a little bit different this year. So Bump also brought a tent, and they brought some food. So now Bump has they're kind of part of the group. They were here for day one. So, but last year Chase thought, hey, this looks like a fun race. Well, he's an idiot, of course, we know. Right. So he signed up for it, smashed it. He did really good.
Yeah.
But you could tell the disdain on his face of us enjoying ourselves in the middle of his pain. And, we're like, hey, Chase, want a drink? And he's like, he hated life even more than he normally does.
Yeah.
So, right. But Amber, Chase's wife, helped us out a lot. She kept kind of the people in line, and she helped good. And then Scott,
if Amber manages Chase, I can only imagine he can manage the rest of the monkey.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. So, Scott Pruitt from Bump, Scott manned the grill. He brought all the food, all the grill food. We brought tons of like snack food. We handled a lot of it, and then we split up some duties there, so we didn't have a ton of leftover stuff. But Scott was making us some members only, volunteers only sandwiches that were fire.
Yeah,
Phil or Sean brought venison, so we had some deer sandwiches with
nice.
grilled cheese deer sandwiches with all kinds of stuff. So it got a little crazy with the food, but it was awesome. And I think that
wasn't BTR set up too?
Yeah, I was going to do that too.
Sorry.
So BTR showed up too, and BTR came out early, and this was the first time. And I checked with Jason first, because the spirit of this race is it's unsupported, right? You're kind of on your own, and that's the spirit of the race. I didn't want the spirit of the race to be watered down with support.
Yep.
But Jody graciously offered his support of his bike trailer, and fixed stuff for people that had mechanical issues. One guy actually broke his carbon handlebar off, and I posted a video of it. Jody fixed it with a stick and duct taped it, put it back together, put his grip back together, and the guy finished the race. So that was. Man on a mission, I'ma get it. I be on a what?